In a small kingdom nestled between lush green hills, a shadow fell over the land. The beloved Princess Amina fell gravely ill. Whispers spread among the villagers that only the tail of a hyena from the evil forest could save her. Every young man in the kingdom dreamed of marrying her, but only the bravest could succeed in this dangerous quest. Princess Amina was known for her beauty and kindness. She spent her days caring for the people of her kingdom, helping the poor and tending to the sick. Her laughter filled the air like music, and her heart was as big as the sky. But one fateful day, Amina became ill. The royal doctors tried everything, but nothing worked. The kingdom fell into despair as the princess's condition worsened. Rumors spread that an ancient spell cast by a wicked witch was the cause of her illness. The villagers believed that only the tail of a hyena from the evil forest could break the spell and restore Amina to health. But the evil forest was feared by all. Many who entered never returned. The king, desperate to save his daughter, called for all the brave young men in the kingdom to gather at the palace. 7 strong men answered the call, each eager to prove their worth and win Amina's hand in marriage. Among them was a young hunter named Kwame. He was different from the others. Kwame was an orphan raised by the village elder. He was known for his bravery and skill with a bow. As the sun began to set, the king explained the rules of the quest. You must enter the evil forest, find a hyena, and bring back its tail. The one who succeeds will not only save my daughter, but also marry her and become the prince of this land. The young men nodded, excitement shining in their eyes. They believed they were destined for greatness, but Kwame felt a mix of hope and fear. He knew that many had attempted this quest before and had never returned. The next day, as dawn broke, the 7 young men set out together, filled with determination. They journeyed through the tall grass and crossed streams, but as they neared the evil forest, they began to feel a sense of dread. The trees loomed tall and twisted, their branches reaching out like bony fingers. Kwame tried to remain calm as they entered the forest. The air was thick with tension, and the sounds of rustling leaves and distant growls filled their ears. The other men boasted about their strength and bravery, but Kwame listened closely, relying on his instincts. As night fell, the group set up camp. They shared stories and laughed, but Kwame remained quiet. He felt a strange pull towards the deeper parts of the forest, where shadows danced and eyes glowed in the dark. After a few hours of restless sleep, he decided to sneak away. Guided by the sound of rustling, Kwame ventured deeper into the forest. The darkness enveloped him, but he pressed on, his heart racing. Suddenly, he spotted the hyena, a large beast with matted fur and fierce eyes. Kwame knew this was his chance. With steady hands, he drew his bow and aimed carefully. Just as he was about to release the arrow, the hyena let out a chilling growl. Kwame's heart raced, but he remembered the princess. He took a deep breath and released the arrow. It struck true, and the hyena collapsed. With the hyena slain, Kwame quickly cut off its tail, securing it tightly in his satchel. He turned to head back, but the forest seemed to shift around him. Shadows moved, and whispers echoed in the air. He felt an unsettling presence lurking, but he pushed forward, guided by thoughts of Amina. Meanwhile, the other 6 men were still lost in the forest, wandering aimlessly. They had not been as cautious as Kwame, and were now too frightened to continue. They decided to turn back, accepting defeat. Kwame, however, had made it back to the entrance of the evil forest by dawn. He was weary but determined. When he arrived at the palace, he was greeted by the king and the villagers who had gathered, hope gleaming in their eyes. "Where are the others?" the king asked, his voice trembling. "They turned back," Kwame replied, holding out the hyena's tail. "But I have returned, your majesty. I have what you seek." The crowd gasped, and the king's eyes widened with disbelief. "You have saved my daughter," he exclaimed, his voice filled with joy. "You are indeed brave, and you will marry Amina." Within days, the spell was broken, and Princess Amina awoke, her health restored. The villagers celebrated, their hearts filled with gratitude. Kwame and Amina were wed in a grand ceremony, surrounded by the love of their people. As they stood together, Kwame realized that it was not just bravery that brought him success, but also his kindness and humility. Amina smiled, her eyes shining with happiness, knowing she had found a partner who would always protect her and their kingdom. And so Kwame, the orphan hunter, and Princess Amina lived happily ever after, proving that true love and bravery could conquer even the darkest of fears. Their story echoed through the kingdom for generations, reminding everyone that courage and love could light the way through any darkness.